All right, today we're going to tackle a conversation that can either build a partnership up or, silently tear it apart. And that is money. It's truly one of the most important and yet one of the most deeply avoided topics in just about any relationship. So let's just start with a number, 41%. Any guesses what that might represent when we're talking about couples and their finances? It's a really big number. And honestly, the story it tells is, well, it's pretty revealing. And there you have it. 41% of divorces point to money-related conflicts as a leading cause. I mean, that is just a staggering statistic, and it really shines a super bright light on the incredibly high stakes of staying silent about our finances. And that very silence leads us right here. This is the core paradox. Even though it's a top reason for breakups, couples spend, get this, less than 30 minutes a month actually talking about their money. So let's really unpack that massive disconnect, because it's huge. These aren't just numbers on a screen. They represent real, unspoken tensions sitting right there at the dinner table. We're talking about massive household debt, student loans that can feel like a third person in the relationship, and the simple fact that nearly 2/3 of us were never even taught how to have this conversation in the first place. The pressure is just immense, which makes honest communication more critical than ever before. So the big question is, why is this conversation so incredibly hard to have? Well, look, it goes way beyond just being a little awkward. The problem is rooted so much deeper. It's in our psychological wiring and our earliest childhood experiences. Okay, a really crucial concept to get here is this idea of money scripts. These are basically the unconscious core beliefs we form about money when we're kids just from watching our parents. So if you grew up hearing things like, money doesn't grow on trees, you're carrying a very different script than someone whose parents spent freely. These hidden beliefs, they're often the real source of the conflict, long before a budget is ever even brought up. So just imagine a couple where one partner has a money avoidance script. They truly believe talking about finances is kind of rude or tacky. But their partner has a money status script, tying their entire self-worth to the things they can buy. You see the problem, right? They're not just disagreeing about a purchase. Their fundamental unconscious beliefs about what money even means are on a total collision course. All right, here's another key number for you, 72%. This one points to a really powerful emotion that keeps so many of us completely quiet. Any ideas? It's shame. Yep, nearly 3/4 of us carry some kind of significant financial shame about our debt, how much we earn, or maybe just feeling like we don't know enough. And this shame creates this awful, vicious cycle. We hide things because we're ashamed, but the act of hiding just makes us feel even more ashamed. Okay, so now that we've kind of diagnosed the problem, let's talk about the solution. The very first step is what we can call a financial compatibility audit. Now, this is not about judgment at all. It's about building a solid foundation of knowledge and empathy before you even try to have those big, scary talks. Part one of this whole audit is just getting all the data on the table. And the most important thing here, the crucial point, is that this is a non-judgmental exercise. You are just gathering the facts, one of the account balances, the debts, the income, the expenses. You really can't solve a problem you can't see clearly. And for a lot of couples, this is the very first time they've ever seen the complete financial picture together. Then, the second part is what you could call the financial biography exchange. So instead of arguing about a credit card bill, you share stories. Asking a simple question like, what's your earliest money memory? Can totally bypass all that defensiveness and starts building the empathy you need to understand why your partner sees money the way they do. So once you have that baseline of facts and empathy, it's time to build a real structure for your conversations. This is all about being proactive, creating a safe, productive space so that your money talks don't only happen during a fight alarm fire. A scheduled monthly State of the Union meeting with a clear agenda is an absolute game changer. It completely gets rid of that ambush feeling. When these conversations happen calmly and regularly, you actually begin to rewire your brain to associate talking about money with calm, cool productivity, not conflict. Now, here is a really elegant and simple tool that can honestly eliminate the vast majority of those little daily spending arguments: the threshold delegation system. You simply agree on spending limits that determine what needs a discussion. This gives each person clear boundaries for some financial autonomy while still protecting your shared goals. It's brilliant. And this is absolutely crucial. You have to maintain your individual identity within the financial partnership. Each person needs a pot of money, a personal discretionary fund that is theirs to spend guilt-free, no questions asked. This simple firewall prevents that really toxic parent-child dynamic, where one partner feels like they have to ask permission just to buy a coffee. So when it's all said and done, this really isn't about creating the perfect budget or having a flawless spreadsheet. The true goal of all these conversations is to build something so much deeper and more powerful, and that's financial intimacy. Because really mastering financial communication isn't just about becoming wealthier. No, it's about creating a partnership that is more resilient, more stable, and ultimately just more deeply connected. It's a fundamental pillar of a healthy, thriving relationship. So, we'll leave you with a final, practical thought. Don't try to solve everything all at once. Just focus on starting. Ask yourself, what's the one small, manageable money conversation you and your partner could have tonight to just begin building that foundation of trust and intimacy?